Good morning, and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann time on ON AM and FM. It's Thursday morning. It's February 16th. Thank you for joining us. I am Joe Callahan. Across the way from me, Attorney Bob Lauder. Good morning to you there, Robert.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. And we expect Emily Haining-Sheehan to join us from the Call newspaper. We may get a call in from Scott McGee as well. And Steve D'Agostino, Director of Public Works for the City of Woonsocket, will be joining us around 8:30. This morning. Dave Richards has popped in over here as well. And so the first thing we can bring up, since...
the first thing is your shirt. It says
Yes.
Rhode Island College.
Yes.
You went to school in Idaho.
For 1 year, I graduated from Rhode Island College.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah.
I figured you were graduating from Idaho and
No.
was wondering why you were wearing a
I have my
shirt
Boise, I have my Boise State shirt, too.
Oh, okay.
I have to tell Bob this story now. As I was coming back from Houston, and I was at I was wearing this shirt. Mm-hmm. I've been traveling for a few hours, so you basically forget what you're wearing. And I'm going through TSA at Dulles International Airport, and as waiting for the stuff to scan on by, one of the TSA agents says to me, "So, are you a professor?" I'm like, "Well, I'm not normally asked that question, but no, and why do you ask?" And she said, "Well, you're wearing a Rhode Island College shirt." "Oh, yeah, I am. Yeah. I'm an alum." So I want to be called professor from now on.
Professor Callahan.
Do you think he looks intelligent enough to be confused for being a professor?
I never saw that.
I'm the perfect age. It looks like I should be teaching college classes.
Wow. She didn't suggest which classes you'd actually...
No.
Okay.
I think that would have been her next question. If I said, "Well, yes, I am." "Well, what do you teach?" And I thought about actually going there.
Yeah.
And I could have said, "Oh, like English Lit." But then she could have said, "Oh, yeah, I was an English Lit major. What do you think about this?" And then I would have been stuck. So I thought...
Honesty.
I better stay with the truth on this one.
I seldom find TSA agents to be so jocular, Joe.
It's usually, you go in straight face, no humor, but you never know when they're going to come up with a joke, and it's happened a few times, and it just throws you. Oh, they're being human. You're like, wow, look at that. Emily's here, Wonder Woman from the Call. Nice of you to join us, Em.
Thank you. Gotta love Mack trucks in the morning.
Going 10 miles an hour?
Yep, and being right behind them.
Can't even see where you're not going.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
It happens. Well, glad you're here because it's time for first message from the Call newspaper.
Great, I made it.
Yes, you did.
Well, I hope everybody had a great Valentine's Day this past Tuesday. But we look forward now to St. Patty's Day.
Woo!
Woohoo! Everybody's Irish on St. Patty's Day.
Even us Irish folk.
Yes. Well,
They let us into the tribe?
I am actually part Irish.
There you go. You're out, Bob.
Yeah.
I'll sit here in the corner.
It's okay, but you actually kind of have some Irish color going on right now. You got the orange going. So
Yeah, but that's from the Northern Ireland. That doesn't get us anywhere. No points for that one.
But St. Patty's Day is right around the corner, and we do have a wonderful St. Patty's Day contest. So if you are interested in being one of the either main sponsors or contributing sponsors, whether it's you're going to be any type of industry. So whether you are having a sale on Irish decorations, or if you are having, corned beef and cabbage special for dinner, or, if you're a deli, any type of event that's going on and you want to promote in the area. I know that, in the Pawtucket Times, there's, the famous, St. Patty's Day parade and things like that. Please give me a call at the office, and my number is 401-767-8500.
All right, very good, Em. Thank you very much. And we want to mention to you that Steve D'Agostino from the city will be joining us, Director of Public Works, around 8:30 this morning here on ON Radio.
Are there prizes?
It is, yes. There's prizes. There's first, second, and third. So it's gift cards to your choice of the participating, sponsors that will be advertising.
Great.
And so more news to come.
All right, very good. Well, we'll start off today with the passing of Raquel Welch
I know.
at 82.
She was only 82
82.
I thought she was in her 90s.
And beautiful
until the day
until
that,
the day she
Yep.
died. Every time you saw her, like, wow. She's like Sophia Loren. She's just
Yes.
never not a beautiful woman.
icon.
Now, did you
yes.
have her post? No, you're too
No,
young
I
to
was
have her
too young,
poster
but I
on
know
the
what
wall.
poster you're talking about from 1,000,000 years BC, or whatever that movie was. And no, I did see that movie. I didn't think it was that great. But I saw her in other movies. I saw her in a movie called 100 Rifles with Burt Reynolds and Jim Brown, and I thought
I remember that.
she
yes.
looked great in that. And there's another movie I saw when I was very young, like 8 or 10. And it's a movie called Fathom. It's her and James Franciscus, and she's a skydiver. And it's a drama of some sort. Of course, I'm so young. I'm really not sure what is going on. But she parachutes into James Franciscus. I guess he's the bad guy in it. And so this is in my young mind. And he like walks up to her, and she's in her parachute jumpsuit, which is just zipped up the front. Mm-hmm. And he just grabs the zipper
Yeah.
and zips it down. And I'm thinking, this is the sexiest thing I've ever seen in my life, as I'm watching it with my parents at 10 years old.
Right, yeah.
And she's not wearing anything underneath. But it just comes right down the middle. So you see a little on the side. And he moves the material a little, maybe a quarter of an inch, and just looks at her and just says, very nice. And I'm like, this is just so cool. This is the greatest thing I've ever seen. So that's my favorite Raquel Welch moment. All right, Scott McGee has joined us on the line. Good morning to you there, Scott.
Hey, good morning. How are you today?
We're well. What's your favorite Raquel Welch memory?
Just her pictures.
Just her pictures. There you go. But it just said after a brief illness, so I
I
don't know.
know that sounds a little weird. But
I know. That's we know what
But
you're
for all
talking
men
about.
in America at a certain age, she
Yeah.
was an icon.
Mm-hmm.
Other
She
than
was.
She was
a
the-
model.
She was the first.
Yeah.
They took that picture of her in the fur bikini, made posters out of it,
Yeah.
and and other supermodels said, "Hey, we could do the same thing,
Thing.
similar,
Yeah.
and make a lot of money," and they did.
Yeah.
So
That was like in the '60s, right?
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
68 or 69 when that movie came out.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
For
What
for,
is-
for me,
remembers-
I remember her fashion.
Yes.
She was a fashion icon
Mm-hmm.
too.
I remember those posters on the wall of the dorm when I was in college.
So there you go. All right. So it is
That's
too
funny.
bad.
That's funny.
82 years old as Raquel Welch passes away. We did have a note that was called in. I want to get to this right now. It just says talk about tickets, NFL teams, and high prices. The LA Raiders, their average price for a ticket, not the LA Raiders, the Vegas Raiders, $500.
Wow.
And they said probably because there is a new stadium there. The second, the New England Patriots, average price for a ticket to the Pats, $357, and their ticket prices just went up. First time they're
Wow.
going up in quite a while, but yeah, they're going up. So writer says,
And
I'll
there's
just...
there's a waiting list for the season tickets too.
There is, yeah. And you have to pay to be on their waiting list. Did you know that?
No.
No, I
Oh,
didn't know
yes. You if you want to be on the waiting list, absolutely. What's your name and your address and your phone number, and we'll take a credit card. It's like $100
Wow.
every year.
Really?
Every year. And if you don't want to pay it, well, great. You're not on the list anymore.
Wow.
That's
That
crazy.
sounds kind of like a scam, huh?
Well, it is, but it's one of those legal scams. And if you don't want to play by our rules, then you're not on the list. You want to be on the list? Yes. Then you will pay the
all right.
$100, probably per seat.
but let's be fair.
Yeah.
That new cost for tickets, those are, closer to the field tickets. You can get, nosebleed tickets for less money.
How
Well,
much
Yeah,
less?
probably like $150 or something.
The story is the New England Patriots are raising ticket prices, first stadium-wide increase, in 15 years.
Yeah.
15. Season ticket holders were informed yesterday. The team also made a makeover of the pricing structure for parking lots around Gillette Stadium that will hopefully soften the blow of the ticket price hike. So maybe parking is coming down, but ticket prices are going up. It's like $50 to park too, by the way.
Right. Everything's going up, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
True.
almost expected. You know.
This is why Bob doesn't look at sports, because he's when you start
too
tacking
expensive.
all these pricing, it's like what?
Bob
What?
can't afford to go to sports games like this.
No,
Whoa.
man, you
Right.
need a. So at
You
three,
know what? It's actually I'm not a huge sports fan, Bob, either. But I have to say I do like to go to a game like once a year just to experience it. I think it's just kind of fun. You know, just to
All right.
go to it and tailgate a little bit, have a little barbecue. You know, do all that.
Now you're going
But
to
as far as
you're going to
I
the,
don't. I'm kind of like bandwagon. You know.
are you going to the Pats games or the Woo Sox games or
Let's not talk
No,
about
like
the
a
Blue Sox.
Patriots game.
Patriots? Okay.
So at an average of 357 times 2 is 714. Plus you got to park. Now we're at 764. You haven't eaten or drinking anything yet either.
And
Well, I have to say though, I'm very lucky in my business where like we always have like attorneys, like say like a Glenn Andreoni or somebody like that. They always like treat us to things like that. So we're very lucky in that
So
way.
you're in the good seats
I used to get treated
with
too.
the parking
Yeah.
passes too. Okay, in the special parking.
the
lot.
luxury boxes.
Yeah.
There's
Glenn
nothing
is
like
a
it.
really
love it.
good guy, and he's really generous. He does great work. I usually give out, coupons so you can pick up Hoodsy cups on your own at the drugstore.
Oh, just
And
speak.
Bob, I thank you for those. I thank you for those. You know
And
what?
it-
Hoodsy cups are fantastic.
Yeah, and just a quick shout out to Bob. Thank you very much for my chocolates
Oh.
last Thursday. That was very nice, and had some. I ate all of them.
It was because someone gave me delicious food the week before.
Right.
Thank you.
You are very welcome.
I'll give Bob, while we're shouting out to Bob, he did my parents' will, and my dad passed away in January. And it was very well organized and very well executed, and we thank you very much for that too, Bob.
Thank you.
All right, nicely done there,
Sure.
Bob. All right, look at the front page of today's call. Fire on Elm Street. Yesterday,
Oh,
great
so sad.
Great story, great picture by Joe Nato on the front page of the call, getting the destruction of the. It looks like the fire was on the second floor. That's where most of the majority of the damage is. The firefighters out on the road and ladder up against the house looking for. But everyone got out safe,
Yes.
and we're happy about that. A couple of animals passed away, and that kind of happens. You know, animals get very scared and skittish, and they run and hide. And then the smoke gets to them, and that's just kind of what happens. So, but they'll be investigating what happened at this. But it displaced 20 people.
Yeah.
It's a nice looking
Wow.
house from the picture. Yes.
3-decker, 3 different families probably. So yeah, that's 20 people on that, and they'll be investigating what started this, and we don't have anything on that just yet. Other story in the call. City man arrested. I love the headline. City man arrested with gun in pants after prolonged struggle with police. They were I guess there were a bunch of people over at the Burger King. The manager was on Social Street was complaining about he thinks they're using narcotics. So the police get over there and they pat people down, and sure enough, gun in the pants. And
Wow.
they do that in the movies. And it's really not safe. It really isn't. We're talking with Dave. What if you trip and fall?
Yeah.
I mean, guns are
Right.
known to discharge,
Yes.
and next thing you know, you're shot in the thigh. It's like,
Or the foot.
Right.
Or a foot, or anywhere else.
Wherever.
so, ouch.
Yeah.
And then they had another issue over the Woonsocket Motor Inn. For some reason, a man from Providence is wrecking one of the rooms.
Apparently, according to the article, he didn't really want to leave.
Yes, they asked him to leave, and I don't want to go. But
You wanted to be Billy Idol.
I. Well, do you want to pay for another night? No. Well, then you got to go. You got to. So
You got to
anyway,
explain that Billy Idol thing to me. What's that?
who's Billy Idol?
Billy Idol was notorious for trashing hotel rooms.
Them
Oh.
rock stars like to do that for
Oh
whatever
yeah,
reason.
like destruction.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
But they've got millions of dollars, so they can pay for the
Exactly.
damage, as opposed to
Exactly.
people staying at the Motor Inn don't have that kind of money
No.
to replace
I was gonna
whatever they
say, but
damaged.
You're still a jerk, though, if you do that, right?
Well, you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely you are. So, okay.
Have the money or not, you're still a jerk.
Yeah.
That's
You
right.
know? I've had that issue at Gators before, believe it or not, where someone locally and very popular at one time, sports player,
Mm-hmm.
we caught smashing the towel, the paper towel racks off the wall.
In the men's
And,
room?
Yeah, in the men's room. Like it was the weirdest thing, and then slamming the tile with hiking boots, like smashing it. We're like, what is this kid doing? You know.
Yeah.
So we lost a lot of respect for that person. I won't
I
say
bet.
the name just because, but
Wow.
yeah, it was wild.
I bet.
They get a little cocky, I guess.
I guess. All right. We got to take a break here in the Coffee and program, so it's time for a second message from the Call newspaper. So back over to M.
So, warm weather, which is like crazy for this time of year. But we also have an events and activity guide. So if it is nice out and you have an event, or if there's, an activity, whether it's bowling or, you have, live music with, the patios opening and things like that at restaurants, promote it. Call us at the Call or the Pawtucket Times for that matter. And you can reach me at 401-767-8500.
All right, Em, thank you very much. And more of the Coffee and program coming your way. 766-1240 is the number to call for comments and questions.
Hi, I'm Kathleen LaValle at The Honey Shop. Check out our Facebook page at The Honey Shop RI, and there you'll see a whole list of our new classes and lots of fun things to do. You could join us for making limoncello or maybe Zapolas right before St. Joseph's Day, Easter breads, pizzas, pasta making, cheese making. So many fun things to do and learn.
Thanks, Kathy. Folks, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts at Park Square in Woonsocket.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
Have you heard of Scott McGee with Remax Properties? He's been selling real estate in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for the last 17 years, and you can see that he loves what he does. Scott, as well as his team, take pride in what they call the fair and honest team. No gimmicks. And no, they're not buying your house if it doesn't sell, etc. Just fair and honest real estate. Scott personally works with tons of sellers and buyers and specializes in residential properties as well as commercial, and he's always very fair and offers super competitive rates. Remember, this is probably the biggest move in dollars that you will ever spend or receive. You want to go with a trusted and experienced agent. Scott is fair, honest, and modest, always puts the clients first. And he also dealt with literally almost any situation. You really need to look at your real estate needs as a business. You want to pay and get the right money now so that you're not paying for it later. Trust me. So why not give Scott McGee a call at 401-639-2906. That's 401-639-2906.
All right, it's Coffee and here on ON Radio. M, time for a little singing this morning, please.
Yes, this is for you, Scott. 401-639-2906.
And let's hear it one more time.
401-639-2906.
All right, what do you got for a listing today, Scott?
That was a good one, man. Emily, I'm gonna have to I'll have to practice your number. You want me to try it?
Yes. I know. I gotta sing my own number.
I know. I think you should, right?
Yes.
I'm back to. I actually just listened to my own commercial too, and it says tons of sellers. But unfortunately, I don't have a ton of sellers right now. That's just the way the market is right now. You know, we thought when the interest rates went up, the country thought when the interest rates went up that we'd get more inventory. Just to slow down the buying, but it hasn't worked out that way. So the prices have stabilized. So it's not the prices are going down a lot, but stabilized more than the way they were going up was a little bit crazy. But I still have 30 Round Lake Drive, and I'm looking for an offer on this one. It's a brand new construction, so that's 30 Round Lake Drive, Burrillville, Rhode Island. I got it priced out at $424,900, which is a steal because it's a brand new house, brand new construction. I can tell you that what's hurting me on this house is that the winter, basically. So the house is complete, but they never got to work on the yard. So when you pull up, it doesn't have that great curb appeal, but it will,
Yeah.
It's hard to some people don't see that vision, when you pull up and you see dirt. But it will have grass and everything too. But new construction. construction, 424.9. It's 1,632 square feet. It's almost an acre. It's like 0.85 of an acre. And, it's just a great house, 3-bed and 2.5 baths in this, too.
All right. Thank you very much there, Scott, and best of luck getting an offer on that one right there. Well, the news has come out, and they have released the second name of the woman that was involved in the car accident in Cumberland. And we were speculating yesterday of who it could possibly be, and we were going with something we got it completely wrong because we were thinking it sounds like since they were involved in a hit-and-run accident, it sounds like someone younger, like a teenager getting involved in their first accident, getting scared, and taking off. Couldn't be more wrong. It's a 57-year-old woman from Woonsocket named Olga Millette, so certainly no kid. But who knows what happened? She was involved, at least they're saying she was involved in a hit-and-run accident and then took off and then crashed into the other car, which killed Sarah Labassiere over there on Pine Swamp Road in West Rentham Road. Just talk about being in the wrong place at the wrong time. It's like, wow, it's just awful. So that's what's going on there. So, and we'll move on. Very sad. It is right.
It is.
Bob, have you had any dealings with Superior Court Judge Richard Leach?
No, I haven't.
No, he was in an accident.
Yeah, hit and run last night.
Was that a hit and run as well?
Yes.
Out in front of the State House,
Jeez.
and he's seriously injured in this car accident. He was hit around 6:30 last night out there in front of the State House,
Was he
near the State
driving a
House.
vehicle? Was he?
He was driving.
No, he was walking.
Oh, was he walking?
Yeah, he was walking.
Okay. I guess they got the driver, but they haven't announced any charges against the motorist at this time.
On
Yeah.
Smith Street, they have a couple of very abrupt humps in the road to slow down traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe it wasn't that. Maybe it wasn't Smith Street.
Well,
it just says near the State
yeah,
House. So
well,
that
the
could be
thing was
anywhere.
too is that he was crossing the street, but not on the crosswalk.
No, Jesus, a judge, he should know better. Oh well.
But I mean, the photos that I saw, this morning. I mean, his shoes were still on the street.
That's
Oh,
hit
my
pretty.
goodness.
That's hit pretty hard. If you get knocked out of your shoes.
Wow.
And he's 74.
Yeah.
So, and how? When do they retire, Bob?
They don't. They retire when they feel
they
like
want to?
retiring.
Okay.
Yeah, there's not a.
Yes.
There's no
limit.
specific
cutoff
date.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right. So, and he was, people do remember he was lieutenant governor for a while
Yes.
here in the state. But yeah, he was. That happened yesterday.
Wow.
Hopefully
Well,
he's
my recollection
doing
is
better.
it's a long area in front of the State House up on Smith Street, but there's only one crosswalk across the
Mm-hmm.
pavement. So I can see people
not using it.
not using it because
Yeah.
they'd be.
Well, my car's way down there. So
150 feet
Yeah.
away from it.
yeah. All right. Well, it happens. So I find the whole thing, to move on to another subject, I find the whole thing funny because Massachusetts was dragging their feet, talk about sports betting, of trying to get it, and they finally got it, and they finally got it up and running. Didn't all three casinos are taking illegal bets? And all three admitted it, and all three reported themselves in. Now, the rule is, and the rule's in Rhode Island too, you cannot bet on your local college sports teams. So you can't go to Twin River and bet on Providence College.
All right.
Same thing in Mass. You can't go to Plain Ridge and bet on Boston University.
But the
you can bet
casinos
on,
were?
and they were taking bets. All three of them, all three casinos were taking bets on local college teams. I'm not sure if it's BU. I don't know where they were
Right.
taking bets on, but they were taking them, yeah. And I don't know for how long. One was taking them for at least a half an hour before they shut it down. And you think that would have been the first thing they told them.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to take bets, but this is what we can't take bets on.
Yeah.
We can take bets on just about everything, but not this. And yet they were. Now, I don't know if this was a human error or a machine error. And I've only placed one sports bet at Twin River, and I talked to a person. I didn't see any machines where you went up. I went $20 on the Bruins, and that was it.
Yeah.
Nice and simple.
Okay.
So, but I don't know what the deal is in Massachusetts. I haven't been to those casinos for their sports betting.
Well, I saw the advertisement that Chris Rock is in on television. I was thinking they're paying a lot of money to publicize the sports betting. That was it for Massachusetts.
That's not Chris Rock.
That wasn't Chris Rock.
Yeah, I'm like,
That was
no.
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, but close enough.
Yeah.
It's a comedian.
Well, no. It was Kings.
DraftKings.
Yeah.
That DraftKings is coming to
DraftKings.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
So it's not really a casino.
No,
It's something else.
it's something else.
all right.
Sorry. DraftKings
Like-
is something you can do online.
Online. Yeah.
All right.
It's
Okay.
online
That's
betting.
different. Yeah. That's different than going to the casino
From
and laying a
home
bet
on your
down.
phone or on your computer.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going to happen with the casinos and what the state can do about it.
Yeah.
All 3 casinos have accepted illegal sports wagers since they became legal a few weeks ago. The Gaming Commission says the Springfield is the latest to violate the ban on bets involving local college teams. Encore Boston, Plain Ridge also took bets on local college basketball games. All of the violations were self-reported, but it doesn't say what will happen to them now that they've done
I
something
would
wrong.
imagine
Probably
the
a
law that
fine.
prohibits it must have some kind of penalties written into it.
I would say so.
Yeah.
Now, it doesn't say, did they pay out if the people won the bet?
Oh, good point.
I
Well-
would think so.
I would
that'd
think
be
they
a
would pay it
lawsuit,
out.
right, Bob?
I would think they'd either have to pay out or refund the money.
Okay.
In fact, I would suspect they might have to refund the money because not everybody who bet would win.
Yeah, what if you
True.
lost?
Right.
Yeah.
So
Do you get your money back if
I
you
would- I
lost
would-
the bet?
I would bet they'd have to give the money back to the people that lost, and the one that won, they'll have to pay them. I would think there'd be lawsuits for that, right?
well, I imagine so. Yes. Not
If
familiar,
you win big, especially.
not familiar with sports betting at casinos, but when you went to the casino in Rhode Island and you cast the bet, did they take information from you, like who you were?
Oh, no.
So you put your $20 down.
And they print out a ticket.
All right.
And your ticket's got a number on it, I'm assuming, which is
So if you
not really assigned to me, but
if this had been a bet that should not have been taken,
yeah.
and if you had lost the $20, you didn't win on the bet, they'd keep the $20, and if they'd have no way of refunding it back to you because they wouldn't know who you were.
But if I bring the ticket in
But if you have the ticket, they
that,
can match
that
up the
said,
ticket.
scan this,
Yeah.
and they'll see this is one of the illegal bets. He should get his money back.
All right, so you'd have
If he
to be
lost, 'cause I
proactive
did.
to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to go back.
And I'm
take
sure
care of it.
anybody who gambles and loses and it's illegal, they want their money back.
Well, sure. I know
I
I
don't
would.
think somebody would be like, oh well.
Right, exactly. They'll be fighting for that money back, saying, "I can't believe they did me wrong."
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I can see that.
the casino did me wrong. But yeah,
Another element in the Lawyers Fair Employment Act. Yes.
Yeah.
it was
Right, exactly.
and I couldn't have placed the bet, by the way, at the worst possible time. Didn't know it at the time, but it was like in February of 2020, and I put $20 down on the Bruins to win the Stanley Cup. A month later, everything stopped. I mean, the NHL did come back after a while, but it wasn't what it was, and the Bruins had lost momentum, and they didn't even make it to the Stanley Cup. I'm
No.
like, great.
But let's switch gears. How about them Celtics?
Yes, they're doing all right, huh?
They're doing all right, and the trading deadline was last Friday. I still don't know why they made some of the trades that they made, but they're
And everybody's hurt.
and everybody's
all the 5 starters are hurt.
everybody's
on the Bruins,
hurt
on the Celtics.
but they're doing fabulous
Yeah.
right now.
It is.
It's it's nice to see because the Celtics, not maybe Bob doesn't know, but as everybody else knows, we've had our glory days in the 70s, 80s, and then kind of the rebuilding years, and then kind of a surge, and then back to rebuilding. It's always an up and down, I think, with the Celtics, but it's nice to see them back on top.
All right, I want to get to one more story before Scott's got to roll, and Steve D'Agostino is here, and it's a man in England. He's facing prison time because he stole some candy. All right, 32-year-old Joby Poole stole nearly 200,000 Cadbury cream eggs.
Whoa!
They're hard to come by.
Are they? Is that the problem?
Yes, yes.
Now they are. Now that he stole all those.
Yeah, no,
yeah.
he has them.
So
I didn't know there was a shortage of
So-
Cadbury cream eggs.
being 75% English and living over there,
You can't get them?
Cadbury. Well, the thing is that the authentic Cadbury eggs
Yeah.
only come from England.
Uh-huh.
The Cadbury eggs over here is
Are
like
not the same?
are not the same.
Ooh, it's a knockoff.
It is
I didn't know
because
that. I
my
never knew that.
I
yeah
didn't know
my
that.
sister-in-law, she's British, she's an American citizen, well, dual citizenship, but she actually, her dad ships Cadbury eggs over here
From England.
from England.
Wow.
And then obviously like the British stores that are, there's one in Plymouth that I absolutely always go to. There's one in Newport. They get the authentic Cadbury eggs.
Well, the police in England say Poole, first of all, he stole a truck. He used a stolen truck with false plates to steal a trailer loaded with about $37,000 worth of the chocolate eggs and some other chocolate candies. He pled guilty, and he's looking at 2 years in prison when he's sentenced in March.
This guy has
Makes
a
you wonder how
serious
many-
chocolate addiction.
Makes
but
you wonder
what's he
how
plan
many-
to do with that many?
Probably sell
them
on the internet. Makes some cash.
Yeah.
He'll probably eat a few, but
Can't count your eggs before they hatch.
good one.
Ba-dum-bum.
There you go. Good one, Scott. All right. So if you want to know why there's a shortage of Cadbury eggs, it's because this man stole 200,000 of them in England, and those are delicious, by the way. Those are I like Cadbury eggs. All right, we gotta take a break. Scott McGee, thanks for joining us today.
Do we get
Thank
the
you.
song one more time?
You guys have a great day.
All right, one more time on the phone
on
number.
the song, on the jingle.
Yes, please.
401-639-2906.
All right, thanks, Sam, and thanks, Scott, for joining us. We'll
Thank
talk to
you.
you next Thursday.
All right, you guys have a good day.
You too.
You too.
Scott McGee from Remax Stearns McGee Real Estate. Time for the weather forecast being brought to you by Positive Coaching Alliance.
Increasingly cloudy today with a high near 64 degrees. Tonight, a 40% chance of showers, otherwise cloudy with an overnight low of 49 degrees. Friday's weather, 80% chance of showers, mainly before 2 p.m., temperature rising to 58 by 10 a.m. and then falling to 45 during the remainder of the day. South winds up to 30 miles per hour on Friday. Saturday, sunshine, high of 39. Sunday, partly sunny and 48. Washington's birthday, Monday, a 40% chance of showers, mostly cloudy and 53. Tuesday, mostly sunny and 46. And next Wednesday, a 40% chance of more rain, mostly cloudy and 45.
Currently outside the Navigate Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street, sunny skies and 57 degrees. Questions about youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit organization, develops better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. Information at positivecoach.org.
Hi, I'm Kathleen LaValle at The Honey Shop. Check out our Facebook page at The Honey Shop RI, and there you'll see a whole list of our new classes and lots of fun things to do. You could join us for making limoncello or maybe Zapolas right before St. Joseph's Day, Easter breads, pizzas, pasta making, cheese making. So many fun things to do and learn.
Thanks, Kathy. Folks, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts at Park Square in Woonsocket. Celebrate the Chinese New Year, the Year of the Rabbit, with Chan's. That's Chan's, takeout, delivery, reservations, 765-1900, the number for all. 765-1900. Chan's is at 267 Main Street in Woonsocket. Kung Hei Fat Choi. Happy Chinese New Year from Chan's.
Lou Mandeville here to tell you the only place to get your local high school and college scores, as well as the Pats, Bruins, Celtics, and Sox is on My Morning Sports Reports. And they are right here on ON 1240, Monday through Friday on the Morning Fun Show.
All right, it's Coffee and here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Bob Lauder, Emily Henning-Sheen from The Call, and we're also being joined by Steve D'Agostino, Director of Public Works from the City of Woonsocket. And a good morning to you, Steve.
Hi.
Nice to have you here with us on the Coffee and program. We're going to get to Steve in just a minute, but Bob, it's time for a first message from your law office, please.
Thank you. Good morning. In the spirit of the Super Bowl, I'd like to talk to you this morning about a couple of cases in Rhode Island courts involving football. Neither of them are the new cases, but fortunately football isn't an underlying cause in lots of litigation. The first case is known as Fisk versus McGregor, Division of Brunswick, and it began almost 50 years ago when a high school player, following a collision with other players on the field, suffered a spinal cord injury which left him permanently quadriplegic. Following the injury, the player sued the manufacturer of the football helmet, alleging that the design of the helmet was faulty. The manufacturer defended the claim, alleging that the injury was attributable to the player himself. After a lengthy trial, during which a demonstration of the helmet on a model was actually presented to the jury returned a verdict which held that the manufacturer was 60% liable for the injuries suffered by the player, and the player was 40% liable due to negligence. Both the player and the manufacturer appealed the verdict to the state Supreme Court. The Supreme Court addressed two issues. The court ruled that the litigation was a contrast between theories of strict liability imposed on a manufacturer and the theory of negligence imposed on the player. The court found that the concept of strict liability applied and that claims against the manufacturer were lawful. Although the player argued that strict liability should override any contributory negligence on the part of the injured party, and while the player himself did not assume the risk of using the equipment, the court ruled that the manner of use of the equipment could be considered in determining whether or not he was negligent. It was a tragic case wherein the litigation lasted for nearly 8 years beyond the date of the injury. If you'd like to discuss this or other legal matters with me, please contact my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer: the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court does not license or certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. And we did get a note that was passed in. It's more of a trivia question to the panel about Raquel Welch, her passing away yesterday. Can we name the film that she co-starred with Stephen Boyd, Edmund O'Brien, and Donald Pleasance?
I'm out.
So am I. This one I don't know.
Pass.
We all pass.
Yeah.
I could have looked it up online. I decided not to. So, no, I don't know the answer to that trivia question. Sorry about that.
Wow, Donald Pleasance, that goes back to the 60s, I would think, at least, or early 70s.
70s, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't know.
Okay. We're moving on. All right, Steve
We
Decker.
were watching her for her,
Not her acting abilities?
acting abilities. We were just watching her because
She's actually
she looked
I
great.
thought she was actually a very good actress, too.
Oh, okay.
You know.
Yeah, but you were there with your parents. You were 10 years old, so
Yeah.
I didn't go to watch Raquel Welch movies with my mom and dad.
Well, this was it was on TV, and they put it on, not me. I didn't pick this.
Okay.
I was happy they did. But anyway, Steve D'Agostino, Director of Public Works. We were talking a little bit off the air about the, you don't have to plow any streets. That's always good. Now, the brine that the city makes, do you make it when there's a snowstorm or an ice storm to come, or and make it ahead of time and store it so it's ready to go?
It's stored, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. So you don't
Yeah,
have to go, somebody's got to hurry up and
Doesn't
make a
really have a
batch.
shelf life. So.
It doesn't? Oh,
No.
great. So
No,
you're just
it's
ready to go whenever you need
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. I thought
it's
you had
like
to make
good
it every single
moonshine.
time. Good moonshine. Yeah, that's
How
what
much
it's
of
like.
that do we use in an average snowstorm?
We can use 2,000-3,000 gallons.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how much is stored and ready to go?
Yeah. 6,000.
6,000 ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long does it take to make some that's ready to use?
We could probably make 6,000 gallons in about 3 days.
Okay. All right.
So.
That's pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're always well ahead.
What new projects are coming along?
Oh, there's just lots of new projects.
As always.
There's a ton of new projects. We're building a new facility for the entire water department, which has never been done in the city before. All the secretaries, the outside crew, the management, everybody will be in one building on some land we acquired on Roy Avenue. And we continue to acquire land that are adjacent pieces. So that'll be the first in Woonsocket. We're currently moving forward with the athletic complex at Cass Park. That's huge. So we're going to be selling gravel. Never been done in the city before.
You're overseeing that whole project?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was everything.
Oh, good for you, Steve.
But that's
Steve's the man.
That's alleged.
Yeah.
How now? When I drive by Route 99,
Yeah.
I see this huge gravel.
That's not us.
I know it isn't,
Right.
but it looks like a big operation, and it's been going on for years. How much gravel do they think they have at Cass Park that they'd be able to actually sell? Is it anything similar to the amount that they've had at that place?
No. You're talking about that's a quarry.
Yeah.
First
Okay.
of all, they keep
Yeah.
mining. They blow ledge, and the hole just gets deeper
Right.
and
Right,
deeper.
deeper.
And what you see is a byproduct of the quarry that they store there.
Okay.
That's the stuff they don't want. It's clay
All right.
from the washings of the stone and whatever. But that's not ours. That's on the Cumberland side.
Right.
But anyway, at Cass Park, you're probably talking, I don't know, 400,000 yards. I mean, the engineers said there was about 285,000. But from doing what I've done all my life, I know there's much more than that. So,
Great.
So you'll see at the end who's right and who's wrong. Okay, I love proving people wrong. Especially people think they know everything. You know what I mean?
Now,
I love it.
Now, the mayor was here last week talking about this, and there's actually people lined up to buy the gravel.
Well, we'll see.
they keep asking.
We'll see. Today at 2 o'clock, they're
Yeah.
going to submit the bids.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Talk is cheap.
You're right.
So when I see it,
put pen to paper
you know,
and let's go.
Yeah, everybody has a plan till you get punched in the face.
Yeah.
But anyway, we'll see today.
All right.
We'll see.
So proposals are due today.
Yeah, 2
Okay.
o'clock.
Okay.
So if there's a good response, then we're going to move forward aggressively.
Okay.
And if there's not, plan B.
Who makes the decisions on the proposals? Would that be you?
Yeah, me.
All right, good for you.
I do
you
everything.
you oversee everything. Okay. And how fast can we turn it around and actually start selling it? Can it be done within a month? April. Okay, a couple of months. Ready to go.
Ready
okay.
to go.
I like it.
So we have to, of course, we will do our due diligence. We have to make accommodations to make sure trucks can get in and out of there safely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to do it responsibly
Mm-hmm.
within the time that the ordinance states that we can work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, there's a noise ordinance, there's a work hours. I mean, you have to
Do all that.
secure all those things.
Would the trucks come in by where the old Ho Kong restaurant
You
was,
know
and
what?
just drive right down that way?
I'm going to wait and
by the John
see to
Dion track?
determine that. I'm going to wait and see what the response is.
Okay.
If there's a big response for a lot of cubic yards,
Mm-hmm.
I may recommend, okay,
Mm-hmm.
that we go right through Dion track
Yeah.
just to keep it safe.
Right. Yeah.
You come in, you're not interfering with any
With anything else,
neighborhoods.
yeah.
You're not
Right.
interfering with
Yeah.
the school.
Yeah.
It's clean that way. You know what I mean? And we'll just we'll close the track and we'll just use that as the throughway. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
If it's a small response, not that many trucks, then we can go by Newland Ave,
Mm-hmm.
that route.
If it's a big response, is the city going to have to hire more personnel to actually do the work in getting the gravel out of the ground?
That's a good question. We have a vendor because we've had a bid. We have an annual bid that we can secure equipment through this vendor, and we're going to retain his excavator and equipment to actually mine the gravel and load it. So all we'll do is record what is being removed.
Okay,
Simple bookkeeping.
great.
You took 25 yards of gravel, you sign your name, your registration of your truck. See you later.
Great.
We'll send you a
Good.
bill.
So that's what the proposals say. They actually have to say, "This is how much we want," or does anyone
Right.
ever say?
So they're
it's-
gonna be able to secure. We'll say they're gonna be able to secure 50,000 cubic yards of fill or gravel, right? But they'll only have to pay for whatever they take. Say they only take 40,
Yeah.
so they'll be charged for 40,
Okay.
and we'll
It's-
sell the 10 to somebody else.
yeah, I was gonna say then you could have multiple people
Yeah.
selling the gravel too.
And
Okay.
then this will generate income for the new complex, which has never been done before.
Mm-hmm.
So we like doing things that have never been done before.
Yes.
Right? You think out of the box.
Yeah.
So if the project ends up costing $5 million and you raise, I don't know, 2, 3, whatever, we'll see. And that comes off of the top, right?
Yeah.
Less you have to spend on that project, and you have a beautiful field when it's done, turf, lights, and
Yeah.
stands, and concession stand, and locker room, and
Everything you need.
Yeah.
everything you need. And people, I laugh because they say, well, there's odors across the street. Oh, really? Has there been odors for the Dion track for 40 years? Did you ever heard about them?
Kids sweating, but that's about it.
Yeah. Reno Field, that's been there when I went to high school.
Yeah.
Was there any complaints? No.
No.
All of a sudden there's complaints, right? So there's the speculation. I love it. It's man-made speculation.
All right. On that note, we got to take another break here on the Coffee and Program. So, Bob, it's time for your second message from the Robert Lauder Law Office.
Thank you. Good morning. The second football case I'd like to discuss with you this morning involved a workers' compensation claim filed by the widow of a sports reporter who suffered a cerebral hemorrhage after serving in the press box at what was then Schaefer Stadium at a game between the New England Patriots and the Philadelphia Eagles. The widow testified about the health of the deceased, how he took multiple medications, had hypertension, and whereas the sports department at the Providence Journal had multiple employees, he did similar work with a much smaller staff. She also introduced testimony from others in the press box that the behavior of the deceased was unusual that day, and she introduced testimony from a treating physician of the deceased who offered to be opinion as to the cause of his injury. The defendant newspaper countered with testimony from another physician that the presence of the deceased at the football game did not precipitate or aggravate his pre-existing high blood pressure to the point that he'd suffer a cerebral hemorrhage causing his death. There was also testimony that, and this is a quote, reporters were not required to run up and down the playing field because interviews were held in the clubhouse after the game. After consideration, the Rhode Island Supreme Court ruled in favor of the widow, and not because of the evidence that excitement at the game may have precipitated the hemorrhage, but rather because Rhode Island is one of the few states in which workers' compensation statute has not required proof of an accidental injury. Rather, the critical issue is whether there's a causal relationship or nexus between the work and the attack. Here it is enough when one proves the conditions and nature of the employment contributed to the injury. The court concluded that the testimony before the Workers' Compensation Commission showed that the job at the newspaper was stressful and it aggravated his existing high blood pressure and contributed to the hemorrhage and death. If you'd like to discuss this or other legal matters with me, please contact my office for an appointment. My name is Bob Lauder. My telephone number is 762-4550. And the disclaimer, the Supreme Court of Rhode Island licenses all attorneys in the general practice of law. The court is not licensed to certify any attorney as an expert or specialist in any field of practice. Thank you.
All right, Bob, thanks. The Coffee and Program will continue. Please stick around.
Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse offers authentic homemade Polish food to make your next meal real special. Try our many varieties of hot and fresh pierogi with onions and dirty sour cream, or pick up golubki, kielbasa, babkas, or some fresh rye bread. We also offer a large selection of specialty and imported goods. We're open Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 to 6, Wednesdays 9 to 5, and Saturdays 8 to 5. Follow us on Facebook to learn about our weekly specials. Located at 855 Social Street in Woonsocket, Krakow Deli Bakery and Smokehouse has all the authentic Polish foods you love. You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency, one agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
All right, it is Coffee In here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Steve D'Agostino, Director of Public Works for the City of Woonsocket. M from the call, Bob Lauders here as well. And we did get an answer, by the way, on our Raquel Welch movie.
Yes.
And once I saw the answer, I'm like, oh, you smack yourself in the head. Yep, that's right. The movie's called Fantastic Voyage.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the movie with Donald Pleasance. And you never saw it?
I'm too
should
young.
But you can see movies that were made before you were born.
Well, I mean, my favorite movie of all time is Gone with the Wind.
Oh, well, there you go.
But my parents weren't fans of, it's all like when you're growing up.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of until you get older, you kind of get into your own of like, are you a sci-fi person or are you a, rom-com person or are you an action person? But yeah, I'll watch it.
Bob, have you seen it?
Movies before I was born didn't have sound.
Oh, okay.
Oh, please.
Steve, have you seen Fantastic Voyage?
I don't believe I have, but I do remember seeing her in a, 10,000 BC or something?
Yeah, everybody saw that one.
Yeah, I mean, she was a beautiful woman. I mean, she was gorgeous.
In Fantastic Voyage, there's a bunch of scientists, of which Raquel Welch is one.
Okay.
Somebody is sick, and so this is sci-fi.
Okay.
And so they all get into like a little spacecraft, and they get shrunk, and the ship goes inside the person's body, like they're driving in the bloodstream to go find whatever the problem is and fix it. However, there's a problem. Someone in the ship is the bad guy. And you have to figure out who the bad guy is. And there's like 5 or 6, maybe 7. I'll give you. It's not Raquel Welch. All right. So, but it was considered extremely cutting edge at the time. It's a long movie too. It's like 2.5 hours. So the special effects were considered pretty extensive at the time. Right now you're gonna go, yeah, it's pretty. That's not much, but
I'm looking forward to the new Indiana Jones.
yeah, that's gonna be fun as well.
That's my generation, and Star Wars is my generation.
All right.
Yeah.
Steve, in terms of public works, did you get a note called in? What's the deal going on? There's long stretches of Rathbun Street that seem to be torn up. Is this outside companies coming in, doing stuff, or are you repaving over there?
No, we're not repaving. It could be Rhode Island Energy, which was the former National Grid, probably doing some upgrades. I mean, there's 590 streets,
Yeah.
so I don't know what's going on each one.
Oh,
At
okay.
any given time, I mean, there's so much happening that I don't know.
That it just relates to the other question between Moore and Heights and Elm Street. It's also the road's in pretty rough shape, and they wondered if something's going to be done about that.
Elm Street?
Between Moore and Heights and Elm Street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not off the top of my head.
No?
Doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. He wanted tough questions. We gave him 2 tough questions.
Yeah, you got to have something better than that, man. Come on. Something controversial. You brought up the housing authority. What about that?
Well, you don't oversee the housing authority, do you?
I do,
You do?
actually, yeah.
Really? Okay.
I'm a commissioner.
Are you? I didn't know you were. Okay. Well, we just had someone resign and just said, gave a not a 2-week notice, not a 1-week notice.
I
Just
know,
here it is.
That's
Goodbye.
disappointing.
Yeah.
Disappointing at best.
Mm-hmm. Did you see it coming?
I did not.
Okay.
I most certainly did not.
Because there was a quote from her from the call yesterday
Yeah.
that says, "I'm just not getting along with the board. We just don't see eye to eye. I got to get out of here."
Well, yeah. See, I didn't get that. I mean, she never contacted me. She never reached out to me. She never said that she was thinking of leaving. At best, it's not professional, right? I mean, everyone should at least give a notice.
At least some.
Yeah. If I decide today, you know, I'm turning in my car, my phone, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm out of here. What would you say about that?
Well, it's not professional.
We
Not
miss you
professional,
from the program.
Right?
Yeah, we
We
miss
miss
you.
you from the program.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what do they do now?
Well, we already have a you know a search underway.
Okay.
So we're going to wait for responses.
Mhm.
But immediately, I haven't talked to the chairman today yet, but you know we'll just promote someone from within the organization just to kind of oversee things until the search committee gets underway. And
Could you resign as the commissioner to become the executive director?
no, nor do I want to.
Okay.
By the way,
All right. That was going to be my
No.
next question.
yeah.
But
no,
that's not, so none of the commissioners can do that.
I don't believe so. No.
All right.
Nope. But I wouldn't. I have no desire to do that.
Okay.
Okay, I have enough headaches with this current job.
All right.
I do this
You don't want any
other
more headaches.
job as a public service. There's no pay. There's no.
Mm-hmm.
There's no. You know, lavish trips. There's like other people used to do
Lavish
who
trips.
used to be on that commission. But
All right.
um,
What do you think about this? Should an outside agency come in and investigate what's going on at the housing authority and possibly overhaul it?
what is there to overhaul?
I don't know. They'd have to
Yeah.
come in and find things out.
Well, no, I mean, you know, the housing authority, basically, HUD
Mhm.
is the overseer of the housing authority.
Mhm.
So they determine if there's any wrongdoing or if there's a need to see anything, if you will, whatever. But we've never had any indication from HUD that they were concerned or whatever. Matter of fact, they
Mhm.
commended us in the past for kind of straightening things out there a little bit.
Okay.
Because previously, you know, there were some things that were not done properly. So we have a great board. I would say perhaps we waited a little too long to pull the trigger, so to speak, on, you know, appointing a permanent director, if you will.
Mhm.
You know, she wore too many hats
Yeah.
for my taste.
Okay.
Okay, but you know, I'm one of 7. So, but the search is underway. We have applications coming in for director,
Mm-hmm.
and I got to say, I'm very disappointed in the way she left.
Yeah.
She's never reached out to me ever, and called or emailed or whatever, and said I have a concern. Can I talk to you? Nothing.
Nothing. Okay.
Nothing. So next thing I know, I get a letter on my computer that says I'm resigning.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Effective
Excuse me?
immediately.
Yeah, excuse me?
Yeah.
1,200 units, 700 vouchers.
It's all yours now.
Yeah, I mean, you just don't do that.
Yeah. All right.
Should we have been a little more proactive in appointing someone permanent? Yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, hindsight's 20/20.
All right. Right.
With the housing shortage that they advertise so frequently now, has the housing authority ever really considered expanding and constructing more Borden Boulevard, Morin Heights type projects?
No.
Those were done back in the 50s, and we haven't. The
No.
last high rise was in the 60s.
Yeah, no.
No?
2,000 units. 2,000, not unit. Well, I would
Yeah.
say units because there's 700 vouchers, but I mean, that's enough. I think that when Socket does their share, don't you think?
Well, I know that.
We're ranked number 2 or 3 in the entire state for the poverty level in public housing. So, isn't that enough?
I would think it probably, if it was an answer to the need that we have in the city, I think it would be something for the city to look at. I'm not sure it's feasible because you'd need a lot of area. And I also don't know what the cost is in the construction and the maintenance of the facility and how that would impact the city budget. But I was wondering if it had been something they had ever thought of recently.
Well, it doesn't impact the city budget. It's totally funded by HUD. Okay? All the, you know, the units, if
All
you
right.
will, the high rises, whatever. As a matter of fact, they pay taxes to the city for water and sewer and, but I just think it's time for maybe other communities to do something
And step up.
and step up. Woonsocket, listen, you can't run a city just on public service. You can't. At the end of the day, you're going to run out of taxpayers
True.
and businesses. They consume the entire downtown with, I can't think of, Community Care Alliance, Thunder Mist. That's your commerce area. When I was a kid growing up, that's where you went to go shopping. It is now a public service area.
Well, shopping itself has changed dramatically over the years, especially with things like Amazon.
I
The small
understand.
stores just
Right.
can't compete any longer.
But you have to have a mix. It's either high rises or public agencies. Can't have that. As you can see, it's not a good formula.
All right. Well,
It's not working out.
we've come to the end of the program, so
Rats.
sorry about that. I'm sure Bob could keep going, but
I'd love to talk to Steve
we
about
have
this.
we have to wrap things up. We got to move things along. So, Bob Lauder, thanks for coming in today.
Thank you very much for inviting me. Hope
right.
to be with you soon.
All right, M from the call. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Just kind of a PSA. The call building is going to be closed on Monday to observe the holiday.
Okay.
But I hope everybody has a great weekend, and I'll be here next Thursday, same time, same place.
Very good. Our thanks to Scott McGee, who joined us earlier as well. And our thanks to Steve D'Agostino, Director of Public Works for here at the City of Woonsocket. Thanks for coming in, Steve.
My pleasure.
All right, this is Joe Callahan. Have a great day, everyone. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remembers at 9:30 on
care,
ON
people.
Radio.
Great to see you.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. All 3 casinos in Massachusetts have accepted illegal